Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tom's Corner, where you can hear the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. Now, before I go into our topic lesson, I want to make a comment. Bill O'Reilly was on the YouTube yesterday evening, and he was being interviewed by a reporter. Bill come off the wall and absolutely was almost screaming at the TV recording unit. And the reporter couldn't get a word in at all. And he was going off about something that I believe that we need to know. And Bill was asking a question. Why are these reprobates, these treasonous people in our land still running free? What he was saying, they need to go in and pick them up, try them for treason and crimes against our government. Again, the reporter just, he didn't know what to do. And Bill was really going off the wall on this, and he dominated that program right to the end. And I believe with all my heart, he is justified in doing what he's doing, because too many of these slack-jawed pieces of trash, reprobate, demon-possessed people are roaming free and laughing about it. Where's the justice at? Huh? We're deporting people when we can get them? Yeah. What about these biggies that have done all that? You've got your ex-president running and hiding in another country, and he's already broken the law. Huh? Why don't they do something about that? They kiss him, hug him, and say, it'll be okay. You ain't going to go to jail. Just come in and talk to us. I'm sick of that garbage. I want to see justice. And I know a lot of you want to too. All right. Now that I've said that, let's go into our topic lesson today. All right, here's what the title says. Was Donald Trump called to eradicate sin? All right, let's go to 2 Kings 9:1. And Elijah the prophet, called one of the children of the prophets and said unto him, Gird up thy loins, and take this box of oil in thine hand, and go to Ramoth Gilead. Number 2, and when thou comest thither, look out there Jehu, the son of Jehoshaphat, the son of Nimshi, and go in and make him arise up from among his brethren, and carry him to the inner court. He didn't carry him, he brought him. So come, I need to talk to you. Come. And it was an emergency situation. All right, now in 3 it says this, then take the box of oil, and then took the box of oil, and pour it on the head, and say, Thus saith the Lord, I have anointed thee king over Israel. Then open the door, and flee, and tarry not. Can you believe that? Open the door and get out of there, fast as you can. Get out, after you have declared this and anointed this man to be the king over Israel. All right. Now, let's go on. And thou shalt smite the house of Ahab, thy master, that I may avenge the blood of my servants, the prophets, and the blood of all the servants of the Lord at the hand of Jezebel. See, Jezebel was overriding the king's authority. She had squeezed herself in and became like a dictator to the people, and Ahab really wasn't much anything. And what's happening here, God got tired of seeing innocent blood being shed. Not only prophets, but people that worship God. And finally, more or less said, enough's enough. Enough's enough. And he did something about it. Then Jehu came forth to the servants of his Lord And one said unto him, Is all well? Wherefore came this mad fellow to thee? Hey, what kind of a guy is this running in like that to you? Got you to that back room? And more or less what he's saying, they kind of eavesdropped. They couldn't hear it all, but they heard some of it. And he said unto them, You know the man and his communication. You know who he is and what he was actually saying. So they were eavesdropping. 12. And they said, It is false. It's false. Like people do, oh, I don't believe that. Tell us now. And he said, Thus and thus spake he to me, saying, Thus saith the Lord. Uh-oh, all of a sudden the emphasis on it came from God. Okay? Thus saith him, came into the Lord. Now let's go on. And they said it's false. Back again. They said, Man, we can't believe that. And thus spake unto me, saying, This thing is, Thus saith the Lord, I have anointed thee king over Israel. Wow. In other words, that means that Ahab and his wife are soon be departing. And they did. All right, now, 13. And they hastened and took every man his garment and put it under him on the top of the stairs. In other words, sitting on the upper stairs there. And what did they do? Now listen again. Because see, they woke up to the fact God had made the calling. And on the stairs, and blew with trumpets, saying, Jehu is king. See what I mean? And they brought forth the images out of the house of Baal and burned them. This is in 26. Because see, what he was doing, he was flat out going in now. He was obeying God, because also he's given instructions to kill out all those kings that followed after Ahab and that wicked wife of his. And he was doing it. Now, Baal, or Baal, was a prominent ancient Canaanite and Phoenician deity and is a false god, which we know. Worship practices, it involved altars on high places, burning the incense unto their god, sacrifices, listen carefully, including human babies. They burnt their babies. And most of these false gods involved in sexual practices, okay? That's what the underlying current is in all these false gods. Now, we find Jehu was called by God to kill out all the Baal worshipers. This was Jezebel's favorite god. And he went through and did it. You can read it for yourselves. He killed every one of them. He was going through the land, killing them. Well, why did he do that? That's the biggest question. Why don't they gotta live? People, when you go so far in sin, basically there's no turning back. God will turn you over to a reprobate, and you will believe a lie, and you will damn your soul. And I believe this is what's happening in America today. These people that get up, that are being paid and to get out there and do their little rioting and kill me. You see the stupid head that said that? You know what? I'll be honest with you. I believe if I was there, I'd give him his wish. I would. I'd give him his wish. When a person does that, they're not fit to live. They've already turned their soul over to Satan. They believe a lie. They ain't coming back, people. And this is what's wrong with the people today. And basically, it's incited by the Democratic Party. I'm not saying all Democrats are full of the devil, but by golly, 99.5% of them are. They are determined, no matter what, they are going to rid themselves of who? Donald J. Trump. Why? Because Donald is flipping the rock off of them. They're being, what did the Bible say? What's done in darkness will be brought to life. Am I right? Well, now the rock's being uncovered. But now here's the point. He's not through yet. There are most people in the Democratic Party are doing the same crap that party's doing. And get this, now we're finding out the Republican Party is getting afraid of Donald because Donald is someone that you cannot manipulate and put him this way or that way or take your payola. And I believe with all my heart that when he flips around off of these, he's coming back to the Republican Party, and they know it. He's going to uncover the rock on them, expose their sin. And, it just blows my mind. I knew they were corrupt, but I did not think they were that corrupt, okay? Did not think that. When you go to Washington, D.C., you're joining the devil. When you're going in there as a politician, you can kiss your life goodbye. You're joining the devil. You've already done something as governor in different states, like one in West Virginia, others in other places. They have already done crooked stuff and gained money in this state or other states, and then they want to go to Congress, House of Representatives, Senate, and then they're going to gain some more money. Once you get hooked on it, you can't come back, okay? Now, let's go on. In our world today, we're allowing sin to rule our lives. Yes, we are. People are allowed to dominate our church services. And this one is a dilly. Aren't they? You just saw it. You see what they're doing. I don't care how they twist it. You cannot have authorization to walk into a church and disrupt that service. You can't do it. Okay, but they're doing it now. What you see that just went off, that's only the beginning. They're not through with that yet. They have proven that they got by with it. It ain't over. And basically, now listen to this, and they basically defecate on the congregational people. Little children and all, our church services are basically being defecated on them at will. They come in there, and the things that they said in there, they said they had little children crying and weeping in fear because of the way they were screaming and hollering obscenities in a church. In a church, people. Do you think they're not coming to your door? Look at it. Hey, you never thought that homosexuals would take over the Methodist Church, did you? Well, by golly, I told you a long time ago. They're coming your way. And the Bible don't say anything about any homosexual being a pastor of a church, especially the women. People always had a hard time with even women preachers without being homosexual and having another woman as a mate. But yet, this is condoned now in the church. And we got people fighting for the church that they've actually built themselves 100 years ago, and they're on the verge of being thrown out. The only way you're going to keep your church is if you stand up, yes, I will abide by the rules, and I will let these effeminate people come in and be our pastors and teachers. Yeah. Now look, I have no problem with homosexuals going to church. Not at all. I pray to God they do come to church. You say, well, what's going on here? Hey, you want to live that style? That's up to you and God. God's going to judge you. I'm not going to judge you. But I would invite them into the church. They can sit in the congregation there. But I will tell you one thing. If anyone gets up and goes contrary to the Word of God, I'll be honest with you, I'll grab them by the neck of the hair and I'll throw them clean out in the street. I won't abide by that. I follow the Bible, what the Bible says. You cannot twist the word of the Bible and make a lie truth. You can't do it. You try, but you can't. All right, now let's go on. Now, everyone knows, get this part. Those who do these things seem to go free. Yes, we know that. Everyone knows that in the Hollywood movies, for at least 100 years, that is a no-no. You don't go into a church and carry on and write obscenities on the wall or do the people that way. That's a no-no. Everybody, now here, everybody knows in Hollywood movies, it is a, what I call a neutral zone. Neutral zone. You saw it, I saw it. But we're way past that now. Everyone knows this. Now, it is coming to the point martial law will have to be declared. Yes. Then we will see all those who have committed treason. Listen carefully. All those that have committed treason taken out and hanged. No, they know who are the treasonous people. And the deal of it is, by martial law, they pretty well judge, jury, and execution. Take him, kill him. Okay? Now listen to this. Then anyone who wants to riot, like they're doing now, will be shot and killed on the spot. Judge, jury, execution. And between me and you, I feel that there's going to be a lot of, how shall I say, less educated people that will be roaming the streets and protecting the streets. And you walk out when they say it's a curfew, you're not allowed to walk out this late at night. Bam, bam. And you're laying there dead. And then they go on. Done. Judge, jury, execution. You don't realize that, do you? Huh. You can't go. Hey, like today, your favorite judge, you go in there, Democratic idiots that Dip Squat put in. I ain't going to mention his name. Obama. Anyhow, put him in, and he did it for a purpose. That when you committed your acts of sin and this, that, then they would hug and kiss you as a Democrat and let you go. But if you were a Republican and you got it before these so-called judicial people, well, you go to prison for life. All right. I believe we are headed that way. I pray not, but I believe we are. If we do not eradicate sin in our country, I feel we are doomed. I also believe that we will soon have a Führer. Do you understand what I'm saying? We will soon have a Führer. Our democracy is gone, people. It has been gone for a long time. The Bible tells me that a house divided, it cannot stand. That's why I'm saying that. And if we do have what I'm referring to as a great leader or a Führer, the judicial system is gone, House of Representatives is gone, the Senate is gone, and they will be one word spoken literally from that elite one that they call the false prophet. And what he says is law. Bam, it's done. How many of you know that during Führer's time in Germany, he accomplished things that was unbelievable? He pulled people together. He built inside of Germany a perfect highway. He had to make a car that every person in Germany could afford to buy. Hey, to them, happy days were here again. Maybe for a while here, maybe happy days might come again. Everything you ever wanted, he can accomplish. All he has to do is say it forth. Nowadays, we got to go through these clowns for 18 years to figure out whether or not they want to put a road through here or they want to pass a law about something. All that'll go away. God bless. I'll see you the next trip.